Hey everybody, this is Dana with the Freedom Please channel in essenceofme.com. I'm coming on today with the demonstration. It is how you go from a hank to a cake. And I wouldn't call this a full tutorial, but I do take you through the steps. And so if you're interested in seeing it, well then stick around. If not, then I will hopefully see you on the next video. Don't forget to thumbs it up. And if you are new, subscribe to my channel, okay? Your girl trying to get it in, all right? So for all of you that are sticking around, I will see you after the introduction. And for everyone else, have a fantastic day. Let's get to the good stuff. I'll see you in a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hank and I'm going to turn it into a cake like this. And so you can see it here. And here we go. And I'm hoping I don't cut myself off, but I can't tell. Oh well. So the first thing you do is usually with the hanks, you give it a little twist and it allows you to pop the end out of the other end. And it is usually in a circle and you have the little centerpiece that is tied to keep it together. So what I'm going to do first is cut it. And I'm not going to do this camera back here. I'll do it later if I need to. And that gives you a full circle. Now what I do is I loosen this a little, just a little, so that it'll come down. And then I drape it over the back side and slowly open it. And you want it to be about in the middle, like towards the middle of the X's. And I tighten it, not too tight, but I just tighten it and you turn the screw. Now what you have to do is find where it begins. So around the outside, I hope you can see, there are these little knots of string. See here? And this one, two of them, actually it's one that is usually the beginning and the end of the yarn connected, and the other two are just there to keep the circle in place. So what you have to do is go around and find that one. So when you cut, don't cut out of the actual circle of yarn. Cut towards the end of the little knot that is keeping the little fixture piece of yarn in place, okay? So I'm gonna cut it once and then slowly unravel this piece. And this shows me it was just the extra. So that's one. And here's another one. Again, you're gonna I usually just look for the knot and cut near the knot. Cut near the knot. And I don't know why I'm using these scissors and I got these right around my neck. I tried to set this all up so that I could do this and it's not behaving. So what I'm going to do is try my best to just show you as I walk through, because I've already cut everything. So there are two knots that are purely just to hold the yarn together, and then there's one that is a knot connecting the beginning of the yarn and the end of the yarn, because it's one continuous piece. When you get to that one that's the continuous piece, I'm going to turn this way so my family can move around. When you get to the one that's the continuous piece, you cut that one, and then what you do is you get ready to put it onto the little swivel thing. the little winder, okay? Now I'm going to turn the camera around so I can show you what I've done, because for some reason it turned off. Okay, so what you're going to do is take the yarn and you're going to wind it around this corkscrew and just place it in the groove here. And I'm just trying to move it out the way so it's around the groove. Now, because I pulled so much extra, what I'm going to do the first couple of turns is I'm going to hold it with my hand, and the actual winder tells you what direction to turn. When I do the first couple turns, I pull the yarn down lower a little bit so that it'll drop lower on that cone, and then just let it run a little bit until it gets going good, and then I move in my hand and I let it start turning. And once it starts pulling, just a second, and sometimes this will happen, which is why I like to be very careful with the extra piece. It's all on one continuous turn, so if you are not careful, your end will get tangled with the yarn that you are spinning. So what I'm going to do is wrap it around this ball thingy. I know, I'm so technical. And let's hope that it just holds it in place. So let's try to give it a spin again. When you get going again after stopping, give it a little help so it won't pull too tight. And once you get a nice rhythm going, just keep going at a steady pace until you get it all done. And I'll be back once we get towards the end. Okay, so I'm coming to the end, and in the time lapse you probably saw that every once in a while you do have to stop, and it may skip or it may hiccup, but for the most part it's pretty consistent. Now, because I had that amount, the yarn that was up on top kind of anchored on the little ball thingy, I'm going to pull that loose. And now you want to hold this, and you don't want to hold it too tight, but you can't be too loose because you don't want it to drop down in this groove. So what I'm going to do is just kind of hold it up with a nice firm hand. And then what I do is I take that last little bit and I wrap it around the yarn before I take it off. It's good if you can go around more than once. And then what I do is I kind of just fold it a little and put it underneath here, which was that first wrap around that I had. And then I'll put a little piece of tape. I moved everything so I could record, so now nothing is where it's supposed to be. I'll take a little piece of tape and I'll just put it vertical across the ends here. Just one little piece. So I just get a little piece and I put it vertical over the end. And when I put it on here, I don't try to pat it and pack it out. I'm not trying to pull up the fibers. You just want it to stay put. And then you pull up your string that you had here and you slowly push it off. And the center will close like this. Now you may get a little bit of this, and it may happen like when it hiccups or skips or it falls down low, but for the most part you're good to go. And you have this that will make this into a center pull cake of yarn.